Hello everybody. Do you have 2 years of experience in marketing and are you interested in consulting? Do you have 2 years experience in consulting and are you interested in finance? Right? You are currently stuck in a job and you want to move into MBA, right? And you don't know if it's a good ROI decision versus not. We all go through such kind of career confusions, right? Hey, should I do ABC? Should I do XYZ? Is it enough ROI? How do I transition from my current position to another position? So on and so forth. These career confusions are not uncommon. Each and every one of us go through these career confusions, no matter what is their prior background, the years of experience, so on and so forth. In fact, even I have a personal career confusion right now, right? I can probably speak about it in some other video, but it's a pretty common occurring that all of us go through some or the other career confusion. Okay. In this video, I want to talk through 4 things which will help you get over these career confusions. Okay. So let us get started with the first one, that is understanding the ground realities. What does understanding the ground reality means? Let's take a simple example. If you have a digital marketing experience of 2 years and you want to move into management consulting generalist role, okay, the associate role, which is offered to post MBA students. Okay, now you need to understand that management consulting associate level positions or post MBA positions are offered to students from top schools, right? It could be IIMs, it could be M7s or some of these schools. Now, if you have just 1 year experience, what is the realistic scenario that you might get into a consulting role which is offered to post MBA students? Very little, right? You need to be very, very honest with yourself whether you can actually make that jump versus not. On the contrary, if you have 4 years of work experience in digital marketing and if you believe that, hey, I'm going to apply for a marketing practice within MBB firms, that might be more realistic because you are not competing with any of the MBA students. You are competing based on your experience and giving your best shot with respect to a different set of pool of candidates. That's more realistic and that's something which you can aim to achieve. So you need to understand what are the ground realities before you target any job, before you do want to switch into careers. Absolutely agree that, hey, yes, you can do that switch as well, but that is very, very, very rare. That might be probably 1 in 1,000 scenario. So you need to be realistic and you need to understand what is possible versus not with respect to the career transition that you are planning to make. Okay, that is number one. How do you understand these things? Number one, talk to the people who have done it. Go on LinkedIn, follow people, right? Follow the folks who are from that particular industry and try to engage with their content slowly and try to ask them questions like, hey, this is my current situation and what should I be doing? What would you do if you are in my position, right? Be that specific. What would you do if you are in my position? Ask these kind of specific questions to people who are already working in your target industries, right? People might say, hey, continue working, build on your skill sets, so on and so forth, right? So understand that answer, work on them, have conversations with 2-3 people, not more, and then subsequently plan on the next steps. That is number one. Understanding ground realities involves a lot of conversations with the folks from your target industries. Okay, that is number one. Number two, you also need to think about, hey, how do you continue learning in your current job or current role as a student? Whatever you are doing right now, you should not miss out on the opportunity to learn in your current setup. That is unnecessarily wasting your time. If you are a software engineer and you want to move into product management or if you want to move into finance, absolutely, absolutely fine. You should not still waste your time in your current setup. Right? You can probably learn about the industry of your client itself. Even if you are doing Java coding, doesn't really matter. You are still doing coding for a client or for a company. Right? Understand the overall situation in which you are actually building the client, in which you are actually building the code. Now take these situations and start putting them on various social media handles to start showing your expertise to the world. Right? It's probably, for some people it might not be very important, or probably for some people it is not too comfortable as well, but unfortunately you need to do that. You need to learn in your current job and then try to showcase your expertise on different career networking sites so that if a recruiter is interested, they will reach out to you. Okay, so that is number one. Do not waste time on your current setup thinking about, hey, I want to do something else. The second thing that you also need to do within the current setup is start taking baby steps towards your dream career, dream job, dream school, whatever it could be, right? Talk to experts again, that's an easy thing that you can do. The second thing, start involving yourself in at least some weekend activities, right? This weekend activity could be helping a startup. This weekend activity could be helping a few kids learn Java with respect to financial services industry that you want to get into, right? It could be any activity that you want to get into, but you need to allocate some specific amount of time every week to a different activity which can help improve your profile, so that when you transition, you can also show that as your transferable skill. What are transferable skills? Transferable skills are some things which you can do in every single job, right? Problem solving, right? Communication. And these can improve only through practice. And you need to spend time practicing them in a real-time setup over weekends, right? This is beyond your job. Now, the third thing that you can do while you are working or while you are currently in your setup from which you want to transition is also prepare for a competitive exam, right? It could be GMAT, it could be GRE, it could be something else, right? Now that will give you an academic leverage. Okay? You can definitely apply to a consulting firm and say that, hey, I scored 740 on GMAT. It definitely adds value. Rather than sulking about your bad GPA in the past, please take steps to improve on your current academic capabilities through taking a competitive exam and scoring well. It does not mean that you are going away from your current setup. I'm not saying quit your job and do it. You need to do this along with your job, along with your studies. Whatever you are currently doing, you need to add on top of it. Right? That's the second point that I want to mention, that, hey, do not ignore your current setup and don't keep thinking about your transition, but please focus on the other things as well at the same time. That's number two. The third thing that I want to talk about is being continuously in the market. What does that mean? It means super simple. You don't get comfortable in your current setup. You don't get comfortable in your current job, or you don't get comfortable as a student. You need to keep exploring or expanding the boundaries slowly. Okay? It means you go ahead and apply for that job. You go ahead and look out for that fellowship opportunity. You go ahead and start acquiring a new skill. You don't stick to the pattern which is already very comfortable for you. Okay, every single 6-month window, you need to have a new addition to your resume. And that will help you with your transition. If somebody else getting, let's say, a 10% or a 20% hike when they are applying for a new job, you potentially will get a 50% hike. And that will happen only if you are constantly expanding your boundaries. And that constant expansion of boundaries is possible if you get out of your comfort zone. So please push your comfort zone. Very quick example of pushing your comfort zone. If you are interested in financial services, if you are interested in software, if you are interested in supply chain, please start going and reaching out to startup founders, right? In the industry that you are interested in. You don't need to reach out to me if your interest is in financial services, because I am not a financial services founder. I'm an education tech founder. So if you are interested in education tech, please do reach out. If you are interested in financial services, please figure out other founders and reach out to them. Help them out. Constantly get their support. And their support could mean a lot to you in the long run. And that happens only if you first add value to these guys. Right? So please do it. Expand your boundaries in whichever way you can. It's super important. And that means you are also not getting comfortable in your current setup. That's number 3. The fourth thing that I want to emphasize more specifically is about networking. The hit rates might be low on LinkedIn, but don't ignore or don't forget the fact that, hey, these networks can help you get into new jobs. Do you know, for example, what is the interviewing process at Apple? It is extremely difficult to get that information, even if you pay on websites like LeetCode or if you pay on different other websites. Even if you get that information, most of the times it will derail your entire preparation. But if you start networking, if you start adding value to folks, right, slowly you can reach out to folks within the Apple network and start asking them questions, very short, like 10-minute, 15-minute calls, understanding, hey, what do I do? How do I prepare for an interview? What are the things that I need to prepare for? You don't get exact interview questions. Nobody has that kind of a list, but it can help you push your preparation in the right direction. So don't ignore these networking opportunities. And networking opportunities don't start when you have an interview conversation 2 days before. You can't talk to people and say, hey, by the way, I have an interview coming up. Can you please have a quick chat with me? It doesn't work like that. You need to spend enough time on these platforms to build your value add to others. You need to start adding value to others in a very tangible way. I'm adding a link over here in terms of how to get started with LinkedIn. Okay, it's somewhere over here. Please get started with adding value to others on LinkedIn. Take the conversation forward, and in these kind of situations, how to get into Apple, how to get into McKinsey, how to get into Goldman Sachs, these are difficult and these are different interviews, and nobody has answers except the folks who have cracked it. And the conversations with these folks are only possible on LinkedIn if you already have a good presence on that platform. So please do not waste that. So these are the 4 points, guys. I hope irrespective of what career transitions you are thinking about, you need to do these 4 points, because these will help you actually make that career transition when the time is right. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys, and look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Take care, guys. Thank you. Bye.